Welcome back, guys. That was Mr. Easy with the song Legalize. Now we are back on the show. This is Cruise. If you're just joining us, you're welcome to the cruise. We have been catching a whole lot of cruise. It's time to meet our guests. Ladies and gentlemen, drum rolls. Welcome, Obinna Omeruo to the show. Officially, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Good to have you. Look good. Did you design what you're wearing?
Yeah,
of course.
Okay. Always repping the brand.
Always repping the brand. So, Obinna is one of Nigeria's leading fashion illustrators. He's a stylist, and he's also a fashion educator and many shades of fashion creativity.
Obinna, I've been looking for a mentor since.
Wow. Please have his PA. We collect money for mentorship.
I hope you're not too expensive.
We pay. See me.
Meet you. I beg you.
This is
First of all, let me tell you why he said beautiful guest. As in, look at him. I thought he was joking at first, but later he repeated the beautiful. I was
of course, no.
But truly, you're looking really good. The outfit, this
skin. Please jump into his
DM. I'll ask you something.
I have a big question. I have a big question. What's the difference between illustrator, fashion designer, stylist?
Wow. Okay, so some small education.
Yes.
So for a fashion designer,
you need it.
For a fashion designer, the primary duty is to conceptualize. So you're thinking in your head, like, what's the, how are you going to portray a new design? How are you going to come up with a new design and or whatnot? The stories around it and all that. Now, the illustrator has a primary duty of taking what was conceptualized and putting it down on paper.
Okay. So, stylist,
designer conceptualizes and illustrator puts it on paper. So imagine like the building industry where you have the architect that draws the designs, building plan, you get and puts it down for everybody else to like work with because it's a guide as well. So that's what the illustrations do. Okay. It creates a guide for the production team, for everybody to like follow. And it's good that it's visual. So you're not just doing something and hoping it to turn out some way. You're looking at what you have and you're like trying to make it turn out that way. Exactly. So that's for the
illustrator and
the production part. Now for the styling, after creating these clothes, you might have had an idea or a concept in mind as the designer, but as a stylist is more like a bridge between the consumers, the buyers, and the production house, that's the fashion designer. So you're not just bringing, because I can have an idea that is so raw that the consumers don't understand it. They don't even relate to it. So the stylist helps to bring this concept and what's like maybe trending now, how do people view things, how would they take it more, bringing those two together and making it sellable. So that's where styling comes in. How do I make this thing sellable? People are drawn to it, attracted to it. How do I make it more attractive? That's the duty of the stylist.
It's a whole big thing. I thought probably tailor is the same
Fashion design is actually
that's great. So this is what you do. You're pretty much of everything.
Everything.
How did this start for you?
For me, I grew up in a fashion household, first of all, because my mom was into tailoring at some point in time. So I picked up a bit, not like I went to go and sit down with the machine, but like observations, like observing this, observing that. And the interest kept picking up, and I was maybe following the fashion scene, who are the tailors in Nigeria, who are the designers in Nigeria, who are the designers in the global market, and like observing and liking what they do. So it was that way till I always drew, but maybe I was drawing more of like cartoons and stuff. So at some point in life, I started bringing both together and drawing clothes.
Okay.
Exactly. So I didn't really think of it as anything at the time because there were not a lot of illustrators in the, like, to have maybe a role model, you know. So I was just doing that until a day someone said, I need somebody to draw like my designs out for me. To be honest, I did not know the word Illustrator at that age. So I then later realized that, like after doing some research, this is what I'm doing, you know. So I started drawing out for a couple of designers here and there, especially towards like Fashion Week. You need to present your clothes, and not just your clothes, like the idea behind your clothes. So that's where the illustrations come in as well. So I was doing that for a while. I was in school, so it gave me some pocket money at the time, you know. And we kept building up on that
until now.
Today.
Okay, I have a question. Did you go to a fashion school in Nigeria?
No, I haven't been to a fashion school.
Abroad.
No, he said he learned from I don't know, you've heard about Nigerian fashion schools.
Yes.
Because aside this job, fashion is like my first love as well. So I went to a fashion school. And then they tell you to pay a huge amount for just 3 months. And then at the end of the day, you don't learn all these things in 3 months. There's no way you will learn styling, illustration.
To be honest, I think the fashion school system in Nigeria is a little bit off, because if we check our international counterparts, first of all, they start young. Secondly, they do a lot of internship time.
Yes.
So you're seeing Versace gets a new creative head, and you're thinking, where is this one from? But you don't know them because they've been behind the scenes. They've walked up the factory levels to get to a design level that you now know their names. So we don't invest enough time building ourselves up. We just want portfolios. We just want to wake up and be like the next big designer in Nigeria.
For me, it was like the money. They're just after the money, because after we paid, after 3 months, it was like, okay, you guys are done. We were even doing our project, like the graduation project, and they were like, oh yeah, pack your things. So they cared about the money and not us, and not what we learned and all.
That part is more of a Nigerian situation. So Nigeria will invest almost on our value system. Generally, not even just in fashion. We need to have a general sense of value. Or not imparting value to this person. Like tomorrow, would this person like be proud that they were part of this organization? Not even about the fashion school now. For like a company now, if somebody is going to work here for 2-3 years, the person should be able to stand up and say like, I want time in this place, and I'm proud of them, and they are proud of me as well. Everybody should have like a serious value system that you are passing across value, and you deserve value in return.
Okay, for people that are watching you out there that are in the fashion, illustrating, styling, now you've been able to have your works viewed. You work with people both locally and internationally. How was it for you? What was that breakthrough for you to reach out outside the shores of Nigeria, and also even within Nigeria? What was the link for you to meet up?
Okay, so it's who you know. At the end of the
connection in Nigeria,
not connection in the sense of connection. Okay. Now, I was talking earlier about value system. If you have a personal value system, you would always want to do your best.
Okay.
Starting from the littlest thing. If you're employing me to sweep this floor, I will sweep this floor like my life depends on it. So I always approach every little thing I did with that mentality. I started out drawing for a friend. Now, if I didn't draw well for that friend, he wouldn't refer me to the next friend or the next person, and that's how things grow. The chain continues. So all my life, I've not really put out an ad per se of, I'm doing this. I might talk about it, but most times, if I check my records,
your work is for
referral.
They are always based on referral. So one thing to the next person, to the next person, to the next person, and that's it.
But okay, now you're in this Nigerian fashion. For you, what do you think about Nigerian fashion industry?
It's such a huge playground that people don't even realize how huge it is, and how much bigger it can actually be. You know, I see so much potential in Nigerian fashion beyond what we think about it. Now, it might boil down to like a lot of infrastructure being put in place, a lot of investment being put in place, but honestly speaking, these are things that would yield results if done well. Because
sincerely, recently I've heard about a lot of Nigerian fashion designers that are making this girl's wedding, Inidima, she made a comment. She was like, let's give Nigerian fashion designers their credit, their roses. Credit. They deserve it. They are doing well. Like when you go to a lot of red carpet events, you hardly see.
How we even know that we're doing well? Like, for example, for our foreign counterparts, you have to book appointments a year ahead.
Can you imagine?
And it's probably going to be more expensive than what a Nigerian designer would give you in 3 weeks. Okay. So we do a lot of work that we ourselves don't even take credit for. Express of like, I need this tomorrow, and bam, it's ready. So if we have that work ethic, I think what we're just lacking is the organizational finesse to make it seem like, okay, this is how it should be properly done.
Okay, I think
so. We do a lot of, you know,
I like that, pointing the organization finesse in the industry. Now, I have a question. It's always something that always comes to mind when I see fashion shows. Now, sometimes I see these runway models on runway shows, and I see some wares. Now, if you wear it on the regular day outside, probably some people will chin you and think it's like catching. Now, what is that? I know it's fashion. I for a person, I believe creativity is abstract.
Yeah.
Very
creativity is vast. It's beyond humans' understanding. Humans, it's beyond the world now. Some of these ways, is it that it's just for the aesthetical value and expression, or these are things that I can buy and just wear?
There are different categories of fashion. Like, it's a huge circle. So yes, like you said, there are different. There are some pieces. Let me call them pieces because they are just for aesthetic value only. So, like, sometimes I just create things that I know nobody's going to buy it, but I just want to create it because I want to create it. Like, I have this thought in my head, I have this story in my head, and I just want to see it come to life. It's not necessarily something that is wearable. First of all, it might be, for example, made out of pins. Who wants to wear something that is made out of pins? You get, it's going to be uncomfortable. But because of the idea of creating, you just execute that project and you're like, wow. It's turned out so way. So yeah, there are clothes that are strictly wearable and clothes that are just for creative. In fact, they should be in the museums.
Yes, truly.
That's true. So who inspires you? I'm sure you have people in the industry that inspire you both nationally, internationally,
globally. Yeah, it's a long list. It's actually a very long list because I draw inspiration everywhere I can get it. For a fashion designer, inspiration is like your drug. So you need to always be looking at things and like thinking, how can it be done in some other way? So I have a long list of designers that I look up to, like ever since I was a little kid. Like, well, here in Nigeria, we have Obinna Omeruo, Larry Da Silva, and these are people like I've even come to meet personally, and they are amazing. They are brilliant at what they do, you know. And one thing that amazes me about fashion is that everybody's telling their own story, and there's still so much creativity that we haven't even like tapped into yet, you know. So it's just, I think when I sit back sometimes, it's just amazing to watch.
Okay. Really interesting that we're talking this big about fashion. I never knew it's it's as huge as it is. In as much as I still sometimes people don't feel it's just looking good, just appear well, and that's all. But thinking of how, like you said, some ways nobody's going to buy it, but I'm doing it just to show creativity and explore what is my mind.
I think fashion is creativity. Like, you just sit down, create in your head and bring it out. Fashion is an art. Like,
it's art.
It's art.
It's a form of art. It's wearable art.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we still have Obinna Omeruo. Do you have a nickname? Or that's not for your business?
Not really. Like, okay,
what name do you well with?
No, okay, no. I don't have a nickname in that sense.
So what name do your friends
But my
call
friends
you?
like have
if someone wants to talk about your work, someone wants to talk about your work now. Like, have you seen this person's work? What name do they call?
I haven't really thought about that, but like most times people refer to it as the Illustrator.
The Illustrator.
Yeah.
Okay, that's nice. So we'll go with the Illustrator. He's telling us a whole lot about his journey in fashion, in the fashion industry as a whole. We'll go on a break to see our number 2 video. And when we come back, we're putting him on a cold, hot seat. Actually, our number 2 video is coming from
hot seat, actually.
The guy with the biggest streams in Nigerian music right now. CK, featuring the video Focalistic and Abiduza with the song. What are we now? We are not in pencils in the house.
Let's enjoy
the video. We'll be right back. Welcome back. That was CK featuring the video Focalistic and Abiduza with the song What Are We? What are we now? When the girls ask you,
girls always ask this question. What are we now?
We?
Yeah.
We're on the show. We are cruising.
Now what are we now?
So we have our game segment with the Illustrator. It's just simple questions. And the people that are good, people really get
with their head.
Their head is the most.
And as I see you,
so very easy questions, just riddles. You skill it through. I trust you. So number 1 question: what has 6 faces and does not wear makeup and has 21 eyes but cannot see? 6 faces but does not wear makeup, has 21 eyes but cannot see.
No way. No way. 6 faces, yes. No makeup.
21 eyes but cannot see. Think outside the box.
Yes, something ordinary.
21.
Clue now.
Give him a clue.
Clue. Yeah, it's a game.
It's a game, yes.
No. You people set me up. I can't.
It's very easy.
It's a game that people play. A video game.
6
not video game.
It's
6.
I'm talking
about too much.
What's clue?
The time is going.
It's squared. 4-cornered. I'm giving you
dice.
Chess,
dice.
A dice.
It's dice. The spots are
the
spots are 21. Those are the eyes.
1, 2, 3, 4. Up.
I'm thinking
6. Okay, the next one here is before Mount Everest was discovered, what was the highest mountain on Earth?
This is a tricky question.
Very tricky.
This is history and geography at the same time.
This is just tricky.
Before Mount
Everest was discovered, what was the highest mountain on Earth?
Wasn't it Kilimanjaro or something?
Kili.
There was no mountain before Mount Everest.
It's still Mount Everest. It was still the highest, just that it was not discovered.
Don't worry. Okay. We'll give you time to fire him questions.
I'll fire you fashion.
Next question. If 2 is a company and 3 is a crowd, what are 4 and 5? Listen. If 2 is a company, 3 is a crowd, what are 4 and 5? And 5. Are you with the clue? 4 and 5.
Congregation.
Hey! 4 and 5.
Even without what I would have said.
4 and 5.
And.
4
pick that word and. It signifies something. And. If you're doing and, this and this gives us what? 4 and 5.
1 and 1 gives us what?
Company, crowd.
Don't forget those ones. 4 and 5 is what?
9.
Correct.
Oh, you got it!
Really? one addition.
From 1 and 1 gives you 2. Then 4.
It's
very easy.
That's a nice one.
Carry.
The next one here is very simple as well. How many bananas can you eat if your stomach is empty?
How many bananas can you eat if your stomach is empty?
A bunch.
A bunch?
Of bananas. But
if your stomach is empty.
Like if your stomach is totally empty, how many can you eat to make you feel at least?
If I'm to be honest, 2, 3.
Okay.
That's wrong. The correct answer is 1. Your stomach is empty. When you eat 1, your stomach is no longer empty.
It's no longer empty. There's something inside.
I'm leaving the show.
Last question. Very last question. Angry and hungry are both words that end in Gri. G-R-I-Y. The English language has 3 words. What is the third? The English language has 3 words. What is the third?
The English language
has 3 words.
What is the third word?
That ends in G-R-Y.
Some of this, some things there are just to confuse you.
But the answer
Listen
is
to
right
the question.
there.
The English language has 3 words. What is the third word? Code.
Going.
The English language. Language is the third word.
It's 3 words.
Yeah.
English language. So language is
That angry, hungry is just
you just call it that you shall kid. This question.
You said this question like simple. Hey, that question about my life like next.
But that's all we have on our game show. We got 1/5.
Imagine. That's like E8, right?
But that one, if you try, I'm going to buy you drink. Don't worry. I'll buy you drink. You tried.
Should we have set exam question for?
You we want to deal with our guest, our very humble guest.
So that was the illustrator Obinna Omeruo. He did well with he did not so well with
question, but he did.
Illustrations.
I will set my exam for you. Exactly.
He will kill it. And
I'm not inside.
it will interest you to know that Obinna emerged as one of the winners of the first AMVCA runway show.
I was
out of 100 of entries, he came out top. How was that like for you?
I'm telling you.
Wow, that was an experience. To be honest, it was an amazing experience. Like, AMVCA, and this was the first ever.
Exactly. You know, I wish he came when we talked about the AMVCA.
It was like a lot of sites, a lot.
We said on the show, we said it was like the good, the bad,
and the ugly.
Just simple 3 lines, just line up.
I'm telling you.
So how was
an amazing experience? Got to meet so many people, got to meet like the other contestants as well, brilliant designers. Like I said, Nigeria is filled with so much talent, and it felt very humbling to be recognized and like come out winning and stuff. So.
Okay, lastly, before we end the show, what's your advice to other people going into like the fashion line, illustrators, designers, however it is in the fashion industry? What's your advice for them?
Persistence. You have to keep working. You have to keep thinking. Now, I think that's an aspect that we don't really talk about a lot. We talk about hard work, but there's the thinking work that is smart. You have to think a lot. Like I said, it's a large field. So, how do you stay different in such a large space? And that's the only way you like get an identity and you like sell. Even if it's to have your own little community that you recognize, it's very important to have like a niche for yourself. So smart work and hard work.
Persistence. Okay, guys, you've heard it from him expressly. He has said it. He's been there. He's still there, and he'll keep being there.
So about the mentoring, how far?
I say you meet me. You
already fired him with questions.
That one is behind the scene. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, that's how we wrap up the show. It's been a pleasure having you
Thank you so
on
much.
cruise today. I believe you enjoyed the cruise.
It was an amazing show.
It was an amazing show. Thank you very much.
A nice ride.
It was a nice ride. Thank
I
you.
hope you come back.
Thank you for coming on the show, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for keeping it tuned with us on the show.
Yep.
Our number one video for the week is one video that is busting my head right now. This guy is music personified. It's everything that has music, from the video, the lyrics, the person singing, every single thing. Is Asake with the song Peace Be Unto You, P by. Guys, TJ Omori killed this video. We love it. That song has been playing in my head all night till now. Guys, enjoy this one. For myself, Karen, and the Illustrator will say to have an amazing weekend and enjoy yourselves. All right.
Bye.